Welcome back. You're watching On the Spot. My name is Patrick Kamara. My guest tonight is Professor Gilbert Bukenya. Or should I say I'm his guest because we are here at his home in Katomi and we're looking at his political ambition come 2016 vis-a-vis the flaws he sees in the government, the very government he has served for many years. Before 2010, around 2010, you had indicated that you would retire from politics, active politics.
Yes.
You have not kept your word. In fact, you are getting into it full blast.
In 2010, I thought I'd served enough as a member of parliament. And in fact, I indicated to my constituency, I'm retiring. And I'm not going to compete again for a parliamentary seat. But I have to sacrifice myself for the presidency, for the country. And there are many, many, many reasons, I think, that I need to do that. One is building the systems. One is changing the education system we have in Uganda. I feel very offended because I was a professor at a medical school in Makerere. I feel very offended if a politician intercepts my complaints by telling me that you go and look after goats. Really? This is somebody you have spent a lot of money building up from a junior lecturer to a senior lecturer to an associate professor to a professor. To put him in a position to develop the human resource in your country. Suddenly you are telling him, if you don't want to teach, you go and look after goats. That's a fractured system, a frustrating system, and we need to change it. We need to change my individual rights. If you start infringing on individual rights of people, their capacity to associate with whoever they want, their capacity to complain. Demonstration is a complaint, and you suppress them, then you are treading on a very, very, very bad, dangerous track for development of the country.
The stopping of people from demonstrating on the streets of Kamara or anywhere else in Uganda has not started yesterday. These things have happened
in bad regimes.
It happened before in this very regime.
Yes.
So my question is, when did you get this revelation or an epiphany that came to you and say, now I am the man? Now these things are bad. All of a sudden, as if something has gone off your eyes and you have seen a revelation.
No. It's not now. It's not a spot change. It's a gradual change. It's like when a child is growing. It grows gradually. It doesn't suddenly start crawling. It doesn't suddenly start running. It's gradual. And you begin seeing these gradual changes into some sort of apathy with time. When we started the demonstration, were they shooting? When we started the demonstration, were they tear gassing people? When we started the demonstration, and a few people would be caught, taken to court, and if they were found guilty, then they are disciplined. But these days, you shoot, even you shoot at a political person, you shoot at a chairman of LC5, who is a governor of that particular area, you prevent a leader who has been elected by people to go and see how his people are. For example, this Lukwago. It's funny that if he drives his car out of his compound, he's escorted by very well armed policemen, I don't know the policemen, to go to a market, and those market people elected him. Don't you see anarchy?
But
are we going to continue with this type of anarchy?
The anarchy you talk about, Professor Gilbert Bukenya, you yourself have at once been accused of rigging an election. You yourself was once accused of abusing Chogam funds for building after the road that comes to your hotel.
Very good.
You yourself has been in it.
Yes. When I was accused,
So you have an integrity problem with the rest of Uganda.
When I was accused that I abused my office during the Chogam regime, I went through the process. I was even taken to prison. And then when I came out, the judge said there was no case to answer. I went through the judicial system. And I would like that to stay. If anyone is found suspected of being guilty, let him go through the whole system.
But what I can state,
now, so for me, the Chogami issue is no longer an issue. Unless you are telling me that even the judicial system I corrupted. But if you think the judicial system was not corrupted, we went to court, witnesses came, even the people who handle money came and said, no, Bukenya never even directed us to have this money given to this company to bring here cars. Why the Chogam? There are others, by the way.
But
if
I may look at this road, that the small tarmac that comes up, that comes up to Katomi here, that was the center of controversy.
This was not the center of controversy. The center of controversy was the road from branching off from Entebbe Road. That Maram Road you went through. And the Ministry of Transport had taken up this road as a central government road. They are the ones who repair it. It goes all the way to
the landing site.
Well, towards the Genosale. I'm not saying because it is going that way. It's a government road. And the funds that were used there were not Commonwealth funds. This is speculative talk. If there were, I would like that to be opened up. And who am I that would have brought the graders, the tractors and so on to make a government road? So, that is not also true.
You stated that the Electoral Commission, as we have it today, cannot handle a credible election. It is the same Electoral Commission that handled elections, previous elections, maybe 3 or twice. It was okay when it was handling the elections when Professor Gilbert Bukenya was the vice president. And all of a sudden it's not okay. How are people going to believe you?
Let me tell you why I'm saying that it's not okay now. That time, I was a member of parliament. This time, I'm going for presidential election. If the executive is the one which manages the electoral commission, you can see the far about it. If I am the electoral commission and I come to the executive to ask for money to run the election, who is the boss of the other? And if someone within that executive is also going to be a candidate, a presidential candidate, can't you see the problem?
Couldn't you have seen that problem earlier?
We did.
Why didn't you say it?
We did.
You are never on record for having said the Electoral Commission as we have it is not good enough.
You see,
because you had interest in themselves.
No. What we say in a cabinet is kept quiet there. And I cannot disclose whatever I discussed in the cabinet. And in any case, there is collective responsibility. When you make a decision, collectively, you are bound by it. But now I am a free man. I can see all this. I can tell you this because I'm a free man. I'm demanding that there must be an interim management system for the Electoral Commission. And this must be, this interim management system must be detached from the executive. It must even be detached from parliament. It must be even detached from the judiciary. And it must be composed of eminent people of good standing of the country, as well as, and I'm pushing this one even more, a few people from a big donor that like Uganda to be democratic. Maybe Britain, maybe USA, maybe the Scandinavian countries, so that they beef it up, and its funding is not controlled by the executive. And then from there, we must elect the technical people, the chairman of the Electoral Commission, his vice, and so on. Again, publicly, with the participation of all parties. Once that Electoral Commission becomes independent of funding, of decisions, etc., then you will see a fair elections. And for me, I would demand that before we go for the election in 2016.
Hold on to your point there, you're going to take a break. When we come back, I ask Professor Gilbert Bukenya, we touch on the issue of electoral malpractice. Don't go away.